What's going on, everybody? The Chiefs defense is off to a hot start in 2023. Yes, they lost to the Detroit Lions to start the season, but then they bring it back against the Jacksonville Jaguars with a nice effort, not allowing a touchdown, keeping Trevor Lawrence to one of his worst efficiency performances of his young career. Now, we get into all of this just to say that the Chiefs defense continues to show out, and adding Chris Jones to that has been a huge boon to what they've been able to do. Welcome to the RGR Football Channel. My name is Daniel Harms, and today we are taking one entire drive out from the Jags game. We're going to break it down to the nuts and bolts and tell you basically how they were able to be so successful in the run game, create pressure against Trevor Lawrence, and then in key situations continue to find answers to the problems that one of the best offenses in the NFL will provide for you. And right here, this is the very first play of this drive. It's 1st and 10. The Chiefs bring out their base personnel. We notice that Nick Bolton is not on the field. All right, so you have Willie Gay, Drew Tranquil, and Leo Chenal. Leo Chenal's almost in that overhang position on the left-hand side of the defense here, where he's able to play the run, especially when the Jaguars are bringing out 13 personnel, and it makes it a little bit easier on them to be able to play it. So you can see them just kind of get after it here, really generate a lot of nothing for the Jaguars offense. And when they bring out 13 personnel, that we all kind of assume they're going to run the football, and they're going to come out and they're going to run a split zone run from under center here, and they bring all these tight ends out here. They're going to try to generate a lot of push. It's all coming down to the left of our screen, and the Jaguars are running to the right. They're going to take, I believe it's 85, and they're going to split him back across the formation and pick up any stragglers out there. And watch the Chiefs defense. They're going to force Travis Etienne to have to reroute because he wants to come up here. He wants to get in here, this inside zone. He wants to get upfield right here, or at least be able to get outside here. Typically, when you have this split action zone, the tight ends coming to clear out Mike Dana right here, and then you see filled defenders, okay? All of this is to say that the Chiefs were seeing the run, they were able to click downhill, but when you have Malik Herring and Chris Jones making this running back have to, instead of coming this way, he's got to come back around and all the way back to this side just to be able to find a way to get upfield. That's them generating a ton of pressure in the backfield, defeating blocks, defeating double teams. Watch Malik Herring here on the left of your screen, number 94. He just gets upfield quickly, and he's able to generate that pressure on the running back and forces him back out. So that's a 2-yard gain. Honestly, it was impressive the ETM was even able to get out to 2 yards on that gain for the play. Next play we've got here, the Chiefs bring out once again their base personnel package to match up with 13 personnel again from the Jaguars. But the one difference is they're going to split out 3 tight ends, and all of them are going to be 5 wide. This is one of the matchups, one of the things that we talked about on the game plan that I specifically brought up is about them bringing out multiple tight ends and then splitting them out and getting matchups with Leo Chenal and with some of the Chiefs, we'll just say, not the best coverage players. And when you have base personnel on there, you have 4 DBs, you've got 4 down linemen, so you're able to generate a lot of one-on-ones and situations that you like for your team with the Jaguars doing this. So they split out, they come out 5 out of 13 personnel, and they do end up getting the first down here, but you're going to see a little bit of pressure there from Chris Jones up the middle, and they had quite a few plays here to their advantage. But to start off, what you're doing here for the Jaguars is they just want to basically eliminate half the field, okay? So this is going to be a half field read when you bring out 5 wide. The quarterback's going to read based off of what he knows is coming, so they're going to run on the right-hand side of the offense, basically almost 4 verticals. In this sense, 3 verticals. It should be a little bit of adjustments based on the route concept. So you have a deep over here from this reduced split defender, this reduced split receiver. The slot receiver is going to run up the seam on Leo Chenal, and then you have the running back running just a curl route. So based on the pre-snap look here with a single high safety and off coverage underneath, Trevor Lawrence determines that he's going to go to the right-hand side of the defense first. So he's not even going to touch the backside at all. He's leaving that alone based off the pre-snap look. So this comes down to one thing. You're running a running back on a cornerback with short area quickness and trying to create a first down, all right? You're just trying to get 8 yards on that first down. So he decides that his best course of action, first read, is going to go look to the middle to see where those linebackers and the safety is, and then hit that curl route on the right-hand side. Notice both this tight end here and this tight end get 100% like wide open. They get wide open. But because of the pressure in his face and the checks that Trevor Lawrence is already doing to go check that ball down, as soon as he goes through his reads, he sees in his peripheral vision Chris Jones right in his face, okay? So you're going to see on this angle right here where he's looking towards the middle of the screen and towards the middle of the field, right there. He's looking at that safety. He's looking to see where Brian Cook is going, all right? He wants to see exactly where this guy's moving. Is he going to move to the right? Is he going to stay to the left? Is he going to be able to come down? Is he triggering downhill? Are they shifting anybody? Is somebody moving back here? So all of this to say that when you're reading that middle safety, sometimes you have to take that extra second to determine where you're going to go with the ball after. So he's looking downfield, looking at that safety again, and then we see Chris Jones. All right, just being, the monster that he is. As soon as he comes into the field of vision for Trevor Lawrence, he's like, okay, I know where my hot receiver is. Hot receiver being that check down option based off of what he sees. So good job for the Chiefs, not generating that big play, even though you have a receiver right here, wide open, down the seam, down the middle of the field. You also have a seam receiver up here who's wide open right around that part of the screen. And that's where this all comes into play, is that, yes, they did allow a first down here, but it's limiting those explosive plays by forcing Trevor Lawrence to speed up his process and then get into that check down mode, trying to figure out, okay, it's a longer developing play. I have only 5 offensive linemen protecting me. Chris Jones is on the field. Ball has to come out. So yeah, first down, and that's just kind of how you have to live with some of these great offenses. Limit the explosive plays, force the check downs, rally to the football. They did a great job there. Now in their first and 10, they come back in this 4-3 base personnel with Leo Chenal, Drew Tranquil, and Willie Gay. Now, what we're seeing here is a bit of a different trap run from the Jaguars out of 12 personnel. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I've asked around and no one really knows, but it's a variation of a trap run, and they're trying to get Travis Etienne in space, which honestly is their best course of action because he's an explosive player. If he can get acceleration moving forward, he's more likely to break tackles. But watch everybody. They actually do a good job of getting up the blocks, but Malik Herring and Tershawn Wharton at the point of attack don't get moved, right? These guys, they get push upfield. They get push a little bit upfield, but they're not being moved out. They're being taken up by the blocks, and they're forming this wall. That's what the Jags are trying to do. They're trying to form a wall here to allow Etienne to come through and then get upfield. That's what they want to do. That's all this is. Now, this entire concept, like I said, is very foreign to me. So we're going to just show you the blocks as they unfold from right to left. So the center is getting out to try to block a linebacker to the next level, all right? And then they're going to have the right guard come around here and try to block up the defensive tackle, which is Derek Nottie. They do the same thing on this end of the field where you're going to see number 77 here, the tackle, try to block out, and then the tight end come up and under, try to block Tershawn Wharton. So this whole movement around, moving here, moving there, is trying to set up these walls, bring defenders upfield, wall them off on a block, and then just get space open for Travis Etienne. And this is basically the entire side of what they're attempting to do. But as you guys can see from at least the sideline view, Malik Herring, Tershawn Wharton, and Leo Chenal just absorb their blocks. Like, they don't get moved. Leo Chenal does a great job here of moving this guy off him. Look at how low he gets underneath. He pushes him up that field right there. And I love what he's able to do, generating push here, the strength he has. And then you got Drew Tranquil fighting across the face of that blocker who's trying to come here. He goes right underneath, and he's able to get to Travis Etienne before he gets moving. So you have two things, really 3 different things functioning here. Both the defensive tackle, defensive end not getting pushed out of their spots, and then Leo Chenal pushing this offensive lineman into the run path of Travis Etienne, and then you have the follow through from Drew Tranquil to get that tackle. Fantastic play all around from the Chiefs defense. I love watching this kind of pursuit, this kind of understanding, and seeing the blocks unfold. One thing that Drew Tranquil really needed to improve upon in his time over from the Chargers was his run defense, and we've seen him bulk up a bit here. He looks absolutely jacked. He's not the best in the pass coverage yet, but he's still their best, I think their best pass coverage linebacker, maybe next to Willie Gay. So the improvement there has been sound, and his ability to trigger downhill, especially when Nick Bolton is hurt or if they need anything like that coming onto the field, he's shown to be able to withstand that. So that brings up now 2nd and 9, and the Chiefs are going to do something that we haven't seen out of them under Steve Spagnuolo, and I'm so excited because this is exactly the kind of thing that I wanted to see when they drafted Leo Chenal. So they're in technically what's a 3-3-5 defense, okay? A 3-3-5 defense is 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and 5 defensive backs. But they play it as nickel defense with Leo Chenal being the overhang linebacker, essentially an outside linebacker defensive end. And he's going to be rushing the passer. So that creates a lot of fun things for the Chiefs to be able to do, especially when you have all the different weapons on their defensive line to switch out, whether it's Chris Jones or whenever, Charles Omenihu comes back, Mike Dana, Malik Herring. They have a bunch of different guys, with FAU and George Karlaftis as well, to rush in there and to create some pressure and some different looks for an offense. And that's what they do here. It's a really nice, fun job to be able to maximize some of the best talents that the Chiefs have. So Nick Bolton's back on the field here, and just the ability that Leo Chenal shows. I'm going to show you his strength here as he pushes the right guard the right tackle into the lap almost of Trevor Lawrence. And then we're going to break down what the Jags are trying to do here. Just look at trying to get up underneath, and he pushes him right into the backfield. That's what I like to see out of Leo Chenal. So the Jags here on 2nd and 9 are trying to complete this in route to Evan Ingram on the right-hand side, okay? This is off coverage here from... Oh, that's not good. We don't want that. This is off coverage from L'Jarius Sneed. He is going to be the guy that they're attacking right now because he's a little bit off, and they know Evan Ingram's an explosive player right out of his stance. So this is just supposed to be an in route, okay? He's supposed to just kind of break it off inside quickly and get downhill. What that means is getting across the field in a straight line, okay? That's not a straight line. This is a straight line. So get to that break yard and then go right across the field, okay? That's what he's supposed to do. But instead, we're going to see the break here, and instead of going straight across the field, he comes this way. And what that does is Trevor Lawrence is going to throw that football here. You see how math plays into this a little bit, geometry speaking. He's trying to get the ball out here. Right there. But with Evan Ingram coming down here, he's gonna end up getting downhill faster than the ball is. So he's getting to this point before the ball does. And that's exactly where you have to be on the same page. And part of the reason why we've seen the wide receivers struggle a little bit with Patrick Mahomes is that this kind of stuff happens. He comes downhill at the wrong trajectory. If he would have kept going across the screen here, this is probably a first down and a catch. Instead, he comes the wrong direction. Ball's not on the right path for him. It ends up being incomplete. Should have been a first down there, but a nice job from, Leo Chenal to get that initial pressure so he doesn't have to check that ball down. He has to get the ball out now. And then just understanding what the Chiefs are doing here. This is a good job from Trevor Lawrence to get that ball out there. And then not a great job by Evan Ingram of incompleting that pass. Just come down the line, and he's going to be able to take that for a first down. But that's going to bring up 3rd and 9. All right. And the Chiefs are going to come out. You're going to play a little bit of dime defense, okay? Dime just means you have 1 linebacker, 6 defensive backs, 4 down linemen, okay? But we know that with dime, it's never truly 100% dime with the Chiefs and Steve Spagnuolo. So Mike Edwards is going to come out as a dime backer where, he's a defensive back, but he's playing inside the box. So it looks like 2 linebackers and 5 defensive backs and 4 down linemen, which, that's exactly what the Chiefs want. They're going to play a little bit of man on the outside and underneath, okay? Unfortunately for the Chiefs, they end up getting a bad call here, in my opinion. I don't think that he was really interfering with Calvin Ridley. I know he's pushing him there, but this is just both of them hand fighting, and he ends up going out of bounds, which should have also been a penalty, where he's the first guy to touch the ball out of bounds from after being out of bounds. So that was an unfortunate part as well, but they're going to rotate a little bit here as well, which was really cool to see. You see Trent McDuffie here in the slot on the right-hand side, and he's going to end up being the rotation man. So they have Brian Cook, who's going to rotate here, and then Trent McDuffie's going to come right out here and be that second safety. So you end up having two high safety rotations after with man coverage underneath. And they're actually going to drop Felix Anudike-Uzomah as a man coverage defender on this up the pipe guy. So they're going to almost double team him with the safeties. They're going to have him play to the safeties, which was ridiculous, honestly. But he has got the speed to keep up with them. And then they're going to mug up both Reed, Edwards, and Tranquil. Both Edwards and Reed are going to be blitzing off this side with Drew Tranquil backing out and Felix Anudike-Uzomah backing out. So the Chiefs are really trying to throw different looks at Trevor Lawrence. I know Snead gets called for the pass interference, but this is a really fun look. I don't necessarily love Felix Anudike-Uzomah being the guy that comes out and is running downhill with a tight end. It's not even a tight end, I don't think. I think it's a Christian Kirk. So it's not a great design from that end, but it's help. It's understanding that, yes, it's a defensive end covering a slot receiver, but you have help over the middle here, right there, with Trent McDuffie keeping eyes on Christian Kirk, knowing that Felix is in coverage there. So this is, like I said, it's a really fun concept, and they're running on the opposite end, just trying to get this, like I said, outside in, okay? Basically, it's almost just goes on the outside and goes on the outside here with a deep in route from the slot receiver. And that's essentially, again, what it is. You're going to have a little bit of motion from right to left here to get that slot receiver over here. And then they have pass protection initially, and then out to the flat. And the running back is going to come up and pass protect. This is just a deep ball concept on 3rd and 9. Honestly, I think the Chiefs did a great job of getting this down and executing it. And I do believe that they did a great job on this play. Unfortunately, L'Jarius Sneed gets called for pass interference. So a fun little drawn up blitz and rotation back from the Chiefs there on 3rd and 9. This is something to look forward to, especially with Mike Dana as that defensive tackle, almost as a one tech, the zero tech up in the middle of the defense there. That should be a lot of fun looking forward as well. That could be Charles Omenihu, it could be George Karlaftis, it could be a lot of different guys. So there's a lot of different things that the Chiefs can do, but ended up on the bad end of what I thought was a really nice play there. Brings us back around to 1st and 10, and the Chiefs are going to be in their 4-3 personnel, their base personnel with Willie and Drew Tranquil and Leo Chanel back on the field. Jags come out in 12 personnel. We're going to run outside zone. And you're going to notice that one of the Chiefs' defensive tackles get upfield pretty quickly on this play. Right there, that is Matt Dickerson. So he actually has done a really good job in his limited snaps on the defense, being able to get downhill. But watch Leo Chanel here as well. Like, this is another big part of his growth as a player, recognizing that this is coming out this way and then just extending it down the field. Keep playing. You know that the running back is trying to take this to the opposite side. You know that he's trying to get downhill and around the defense, so continue to extend that play and then force him to go upfield and around, but you can't get there because he's already closing on him, and then everybody else closes too. So sound run defense from the Kansas City Chiefs. That's what they need. It's absolutely what they need to be able to continue on here. And then this is just, like I said, outside zone from the Jags. Running this way, this direction. Everyone's going blocking this way. And Travis Etienne is trying to get to the edge here. And that's what I loved about the recognition skills. You see Leo Chanel being the first guy out here, and then Matt Dickerson's going to split this block from the Jags offensive line, get upfield and press Travis Etienne to get outside even more. Then you have the help defenders coming in and making everything else go. Fantastic job from everybody all around, being able to pursue, get downhill quickly. There it is. Like Matt Dickerson inside that gap quickly with George Karlaftis trying to hold up on this double right here. Again, he does a great job keeping Leo Chenal clean. These two guys are trying to kind of double team to get to Leo Chenal. So you got a couple nice things happening there with GK taking that up and then Leo Chenal getting to the outside, bouncing off that defender, followed up by Drew Tranquil coming to finish the play. And that brings up 2nd and 10. So we've seen 3 run plays from the Chiefs defense, which have gained 3 yards. That's fantastic. They held Travis Etienne to 3.3 yards on the day on 12 carries. That's just being good defense, forcing them to have to throw the football and into obvious passing situations where the Chiefs played extremely well. And then they can bring out their nickel defense like they're going to do on the 2nd and 10 here. They just bring that out with Willie and Drew Tranquil, but they're able to get downhill. Okay, again, a blitz is on. They get the ball out quickly. This is what the Jags want to do. No, it's not a first down. It's a play. But you have to remember that 2 things are happening. The Chiefs, 1, they're blitzing. 2, they have to play a little bit of off coverage, and they have to be able to rotate down. So as Justin Reed is going to be switching with the blitzer here, Jalen Watson, he's going to be covering an outbreaking Evan Ingram, okay? So there's a lot that has to happen to be able to get downhill. 1, you have to recognize where the route's coming as Justin Reed is, and they have to be able to get downhill without getting beat by a double move, okay? You have to hope the pressure gets home as a defensive back. You also have to remember that these guys could be accelerating upfield. So Reed has to come down and switch places. You see, there he does. And he's got cushion, okay? There's a lot of cushion there, and he does not want to get beat over top because, again, Evan Ingram can take this to the house if he's able to get downfield. You see where the safety on the opposite side is. In translation to Ingram, if he goes this way, there's no help coming from the opposite side. So you have to be able to be on your toes as a defender to come downhill on the break and then make sure you can tackle. Yeah, he knocks him out of bounds. They get a generous spot there. But this is all they're trying to do. They want to hit this. They want to switch out. So you have Watson, who's going to end up blitzing right there. And then they have a delay blitz with Willie Gay too. Unfortunately, what they end up doing is they want to switch out with George Karlaftis, who's going to initiate first and then back out. And both of these guys end up bumping into each other. So Willie Gay and George Karlaftis end up bumping into each other. So that's just trying to, change where they are and force a more difficult throw for Trevor Lawrence. It ended up, kind of working out for the Chiefs in the sense that they were able to still generate a 3rd and short, which they have been playing very well in this game. But overall, it's a really good concept. Spags has been blitzing a lot to start the year, especially when they don't have Chris Jones on the field trying to generate more pressure for their quarterbacks. So good play, ended up working out in their benefit to an extent. Obviously, you can't always know what play's coming, what routes are coming, but you get a 3rd down. Get a 3rd down still in their own territory for the Jags. So that's all they're trying to do, is trying to get these 3rd and shorts, convert on those 3rd downs, and then they bring in another blitz, okay? Chiefs are coming out with Willie and Drew Tranquil, but they have another defensive back walked up to the line of scrimmage, which is Justin Reed. Single high safety, Brian Cook. Chiefs are running cover 1 man, and they're going to blitz Willie off the edge. So you have man defenders underneath that single high safety, and Justin Reed is in the box as well. So with Willie Gay to that overhang that we saw Leo Chenal earlier in the game, they do an excellent job of dissecting this play, reading it out, and triggering downhill when you see it happen. This is the real big play for me from this entire thing. Yes, it's fun to see Leo Chenal come downhill and play as a pass rusher, but everything that comes together because of this right here. This play, the understanding of what, 1, the Jags are trying to do, which is one thing, being able to react to it is the second thing, and then executing and tackling in space against a slot receiver is another thing. So they're running this mesh concept right on the left-hand side. This apex receiver here in the stack is just going to run this underneath route here. You have Evan Ingram, who's going to kind of feign block, and then also run underneath here, his side. On the left-hand side, this underneath stack receiver is going to run just a curl route here. They have the running back releasing out of the backfield this way. Look at all the different ways they're trying to attack the Chiefs down the field, and across the field. Then they motion the receiver that was in bunch originally, Christian Kirk, into the backfield. And this whole play is designed to get him to release out here. Force the Chiefs to get a little confused up front, formulating what's happening, all the different ways the receivers are going, and then leak Christian Kirk out into the flat. Hopefully, no one notices him, right? On 3rd and short, that's ideal. Watch as Trent McDuffie here and Drew Tranquil here are noticing what's happening. And yes, they can get off of their defenders, but they also have to realize that their understanding of the play unfolding means they have man coverage responsibilities as well. You're going to see them kind of stop in the middle of their motions, going one way, stopping, going back right there. Let me just kind of rewind it just a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. So there's the motion into the backfield. Drew Tranquil is the first guy you want to put eyes on here, as he's going to kind of move with, step forward, moves with Kirk, eyes to the right, and then downhill comes Jalen Watson to finish the play on 3rd and 2 for absolutely no gain at all. That was one of the plays where I'm really starting to think that this defense is going to be a lot of fun. And it could be special because of what they're understanding with their own responsibilities. They're understanding the defense, where they have to be. Willie Gay with a nice little slap right there, 2-hand slap on the edge to get around as well, to create a little bit of added pressure, some speed, trying to get their hands up, and then the finish on the tackle from Jalen Watson. All of this is to say that this Chiefs defense, yes, they can generate pressure. Chris Jones makes them elite. He helps everything, and then their ability to blitz is another entirely different thing. But these young players are getting the defense. They're making sense of what they're supposed to do. They're understanding their responsibilities, and they're growing into it. Trent McDuffie is a star. I think that they have really good complementary pieces around their two studs on defense. And they're going to continue to get better as the season goes along with all the different ways they can attack a quarterback. So all of this is just to say this was an excellent job of showcasing all the different things that the Chiefs can do and how they can continue to win football games on the back of their defense. I hope you guys enjoyed this in-depth drive breakdown from the Chiefs defense. Make sure to hit that like on the way out. We really do appreciate it. It helps the algorithm a lot, and we're going to keep doing these every single week. If you want more of the drive breakdowns themselves specifically, let us know in the comments if you like this way, if you like the other way better, and we'll definitely make sure to do more of what you guys like. So have yourselves a great day, and we'll see you next time, leaving you with Jalen Watson sticking at Christian Kirk one more time on the way out.